If you want a magazine printed with full colors because you have those in-depth pictures that you've taken of the landscape, can you print such a magazine with a black and white printer? You can do it, but you will lose the visuals of the pictures because the pictures will be processed in black and white. If you've taken in-depth photographs and you want it to be displayed in the magazine, then you need to print it with a color printer. A black and white printer is able to print in color if you change the settings. So you need to change the hardware. So you need to reform it to a color printer for you to be able to print things in color. You can print black and white material with a color printer, but the other way around, a black and white printer cannot print in color. It's a very simple thing, right? But still, when it comes to daily life, believers think that they can get supernatural understanding from people that are stuck to the paranormal. Worldly people have a black and white thinking. They think in opposites. One of the main motivations of worldly people is narcissistic relief. They feel good about themselves and therefore they can function better because someone else has it worse. That's why policymakers seldom make policies that benefit everyone, because when everyone benefits, what's the difference? If there is no difference for narcissistic supply, then worldly people are not motivated. And when they're not motivated, to become anxious and they begin to dump anxiety on others, and then you get violence and massacres and all of such stuff. Now you know why poverty is never solved by the world's leaders, because the moment they get rid of all inequality when it comes to economics, the moment they do that, hell's going to break loose. Now, worldly people have nothing to feel relieved about. And when worldly people have nothing to feel relieved about, that frustration boils up and they begin to explode. That's why there's poverty and war. Those two things are kept going to relieve the world's population. So a population like that, who operate in a fallen state of mind, in black and white thinking, whose main motivation is feeling relieved at the expense of someone else. How do you expect such a population to understand you when you talk about complying with justice? Some of them who are willing to let go and to be freed from that black and white thinking, they may understand you. But worldly people in general, they don't want to understand justice, because justice means that they need to comply with it, and it means giving up this toxic self-focus of theirs. And this toxic self-focus, they can't get rid of it themselves. They need to become born again and walk by faith. This dependency of theirs, that they can't save themselves from this self-destruction and that they cannot, therefore, control the Most High, this is the point that causes worldly people to turn on believers. Look, there are some individual unbelievers here and there. So as the believer, there are individual unbelievers here and there that you will get along with for the short term. But don't expect the collective of worldly people to get along with you, because they're not into justice. They just want relief. Relief and fleeing. That is what worldly people do. And all violence is relief seeking. With violence, you shut down others from questioning you. Because once you're questioned, now you need to give an account, now you need to face yourself. So you don't want to face yourself, you use violence to shut people down. And most worldly people prefer the world as it is, because a just world would require that they comply with justice. And that means facing themselves, and they don't want that. So even though they don't want the destruction of crime and war, and of disease and all of that, they rather put up with that than have to face God himself. Well, again, you cannot print color prints with a black and white printer. You can print black and white stuff with a color printer, but not the other way around. Always remember that. Be at peace.